So this is going to be a video to myself, a reminder, actually. What do I want to tell myself? I talk to myself often. I think I have pretty good advice. First of all, I wanted to talk about what I want. I want peace and clarity and love and equilibrium and balance in myself at all times, irregardless of what's going on around me, irregardless of who's in front of me or not in front of me, you know? Yeah, I've been asking myself, like, what do you want? What do you want in life? You know, I think it starts with that. If you don't know what you want, woo, facts. You gotta know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then you should definitely take some time to recognize those things. So, I've been having like micro moments of darkness. And what I mean by darkness is like feelings of turmoil and chaos and confusion and depression, sadness, loneliness, you know, you name it. But I've been pretty quick to bring myself out of it. I think it's because of the availability that I've given to myself. What I mean by availability. So most of the time we spend most of our or we expend a lot of our attention looking outside of ourselves, looking at a screen, looking at another person, looking at how something outside of us made us feel, or letting something outside of us influence how we think, right? And so we're available to everything around us, but we're not being really available to ourselves. How do you become available to yourself? Well, be present, mindful, and aware of where you are spending your time and your attention. Now, if you're spending it predominantly on things outside of you, then you're definitely not really available to yourself. And that's why I think it's essential for me to be by myself and spend time with myself so I can be available for myself. Because a lot of times we're like trying to chase after things that aren't available. What are they telling you? They're not available to you because you're not being available to yourself. So important to be available to yourself, you know? Because when you're available to yourself, then you can kind of like understand and see your thoughts and your feelings clearly. And then you can decide what you want and what you don't want and keep what you want and discard the rest. Oh, I'm shifty. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what I want. Um, you know, I've noted, and I'm not at all like slamming on these things because I used to be there. I, I've noticed that a lot of people want material things. They think the material realm and the material things in it will satiate. But those things are temporary, you know? And so that's why, like, my goal is to acquire things that will satiate my soul, you know? And for instance, you can buy, I don't know, buy something, a book, a piece of clothing, a piece of furniture, a house, a car. In that moment, you will be completely, or you will feel completely, um, you'll feel, I don't know, excitement, even like a meal, like after you eat a meal, oh, I feel satiated. But then it's very temporary. It goes away eventually until and then you're off repeating a cycle, repeating a pattern, and looking for the next best thing or the next thing in general, right? So, material things for me, been there, done that. It's not really satisfying. It's momentarily satisfying, but it doesn't really like make you feel like full inside. So for me, I'm like looking for soul things, like what I said, things money can't buy, things that are unseen but are certainly felt. Love, peace, grace, beauty, you know? I want these things always, like at all times, irregardless of what's going on around me. And whether there's someone in front of me or not in front of me, I just want to have that. I want to be full, you know? And it starts with, like I said, I don't know. I mean, well, it starts with you. And it starts with building a foundation within yourself that is solid and unmovable and unshakable. And then I feel like the things around you either to add to what you want or it subtracts from it. Either way, experiencing the extremes, the opposing ends of the spectrum, and everything in between helps you to gain experience on what you want and what you don't want in your life. And you just kind of keep building your reality based off of those experiences, you know? So you can experience heaven, you can experience hell, you can experience purgatory, you know? It's all up to you. But in closing, I just have to say, I am absolutely grateful for everything and everyone that I've experienced. And I take nothing personally. I don't expect anything from anyone other than just seeing them as they are in the moment, knowing that everyone is growing. It's like not static. So, like, if somebody was acting a certain way yesterday, doesn't mean that they're the same person today, unless they're still perpetuating a habit or behavior or cycle. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, become more available to yourself. Give yourself more time. I think that's why, like, I don't know, spending more time with yourself is so important. Not chasing. Or you can chase to experience the chase and then realize that it's exhausting to chase in order to get breadcrumbs because you deserve the cake. And you have to make the cake so you can eat it. I have no idea if this made sense, but thank you for listening. And that was my reminder to myself. Amen.